Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let us introduce our group. We are from group 9 with the member Ayu Puspitaningsih, Daniel Azib, Dwi Arifianti, and last but not least, me Titik Komariah. This time, we would like to present our presentation about delivering your speech. Please check this out. Here, we will explain about introduction, methods of delivery, vocal and nonverbal aspect of delivery. First is introduction. In introduction, the important thing that we should be in command is not only a good script of speech, but also how we deliver our speech to the audience perfectly. How to be a good performer? There are one way. It is practice, practice, and practice. The basic foundation for good speech delivery involves the two P, preparation and practice. Agar speech kita tidak membosankan dan bisa tersampaikan dengan baik kepada pendengar, maka kita membutuhkan persiapan dan latihan secara maksimal. And the second is methods of delivery. There are 4 basic methods, or sometimes we call it style of presenting a speech. 1. Manuscript style. Manuscript style is the style that the speech is written and the speaker read it word by word to the audience. Second, memorized style of speech is when the manuscript is committed to memory and recited to the audience verbatim. Saat naskah pidato itu diingat dan disampaikan secara persis kata demi kata kepada pendengar. And the third is impromptu style. Theoretically, an impromptu speech is made up on the spot. It is unprepared and unrehearsed. Secara teori, impromptu speech disampaikan saat itu juga tanpa adanya persiapan atau latihan terlebih dahulu. And also, impromptu speech are generally short, are often given with little or no notice. And last but not least is extemporaneous style. This style is combined between memorized and impromptu style of delivery. For this style, the speech is not completely written out, but it is usually delivered with keynotes or reference. Jadi, extemporaneous style adalah style yang menggabungkan antara memorized and impromptu style, di mana hanya menulis kata kuncinya saja di naskah dan selebihnya diingat lalu disampaikan kepada audiens.
Vocal aspects of delivery. Though we speak frequently during the course of a day, a formal speech requires extra attention to detail in preparation of a more formal speech presentation. What can one do in advance to prepare for a speech? The challenge is partly determined by the speaker experience, background, and sometimes cultural influence and existing habits of speaking. Articulation, pronunciation, dialect, tone, pitch, and projection. Each depends on long-term practice for success. Articulation. We are often judged by how well we pronounce in general. A measure of perceived intellect or education is how well we articulate. That is, how well and correctly we form our vowels and consonants using our lips, jaw, tongue, and palate to form the sounds that are identified as speech. Diction and enunciation are other terms that refer to the same idea. For instance, saying going to instead of gonna, or did not instead of didn't, are examples of good versus poor articulation. Pronunciation. Proper articulation applied to a given word is that word pronunciation. The pronunciation includes how the vowels and consonants are produced as well as which syllable is emphasized. For generation, speaker depends on marking, such as the International Phonetic Alphabet or similar dictionary symbol, to discover or decide how words were officially pronounced. With online dictionary now readily available, one needs only to look up a word and select play to hear audible recording of the official and precise way a word should be pronounced. Now, there is no excuse for mispronouncing a word in a speech. A mispronounced word will obliterate a speaker's credibility, and the audience's attention will be focused on their thought rather than the message. Accent, dialect, and regionalism. Subtleties in the way we pronounce words and phrase our speech within a given language are evident in accent, regionalism, and dialect. An accent refers to the degree of prominence of the way syllables are spoken in words, as when someone from Australia says anda, whereas we say under. A regionalism is a type of expression, as when someone says the dog wants walk instead of the dog wants to go for a walk. Dialect is a variety of language where one is distinguished from other by grammar and vocabulary. In Pennsylvania, you might hear people say that they are going to red up the room, which means to clean the room. Vocal quality. The quality of the voice is timbre, or distinctive sound, and texture. Affects audibility and can affect the articulation. Our voices are unique to each of us. It is a result of our physical vocal instrument, including diaphragm, vocal cords, lungs, and body mass. Some examples of vocal quality include warm, clear, soft, scratchy, mellow, and breathy. Each speaker should practice at maximizing the vocal effects of his instrument, which can be developed with vocal exercise.
Pitch and inflection. Identical to musical patterns, the pitch is the highness or lowness of the voice. Each of us has a range of tone. Vocal sounds are actually vibrations sent out from the vocal cords resonating through chambers in the body. The vibration can literally be measured in terms of audio frequency in the same way music is measured. When the pitch is altered to convey a meaning like raising the pitch at the end of a sentence that is a question, it is the inflection. Inflection are variations, turns, and slides in pitch to shift the meaning. Rate of speaking. Finding the right pace for your speech. If you speak too quickly, the audience might get the impression you have nothing important to say. The audience has a difficult time chatting up and comprehending what you are saying. They need time to digest the information, so plan on periodic pauses. The audience might think you really do not want to be there. And then, if you speak too slowly, the audience might think you are too tired to be presenting. The audience can forget the first part of your sentence by the time you get to the last. It happens and they lose interest. The audience might think you are wasting their time by taking longer than necessary to relay your message. As a speaker, you cannot race with the audience nor drag their attention down. Like Goldilocks, look for the pitch that is just right. Pauses versus vocalized pauses. A text that is read has punctuation that the reader can see nature language to define the text. When spoken, similar punctuation is needed for comprehension, and the speaker's responsibility is to over the text with pauses. Space between phrases properly planned give the audience the opportunity to understand the structure of the speaker's sentence and paragraph. It also gives time for the audience to digest crucial phrases. Generally, spoken sentence and paragraph need to be simpler and shorter than what can be comprehended by reading. Pauses can help increase comprehension. However, pauses that are filled with and so on, or called vocalized pauses or fillers, and should be avoided. Vocal projection. The volume produced by the vocal instrument is projection. Supporting the voice volume with good breathing and energy can be practiced, and helping a speaker develop the correct volume is a main task of a vocal trainer, teacher, or coach. Good vocal support with good posture, breathing, and energy should be practiced regularly long before a speech is delivered. There are numerous exercises devoted to developing projection capabilities. Don't expect to walk up to the podium and have a full voice. Actually, spend about a half hour doing vocal warm-ups and singer warm-ups much more. You might not have an opportunity to warm up immediately before your speech, but then you can warm up with humming, yawning loudly, or doing chaos, all while breathing quickly and efficiently. It will loosen your voice, prevent irritation, and fire up your vocal energy.
Non-verbal aspect of delivery. First, personal appearance. Here is the golden rule. Dress appropriately for the situation. You should be comfortable and confident, knowing that you look good. Dressing appropriately. What to wear is a button-down shirt or blouse, trousers, a dress appropriate for a business setting, a nice sweater, limited tasteful jewelry, a suit or jacket may be appropriate, a tie or scarf. What not to wear is t-shirt, sweatshirts or sweatsuits, sleeveless tops, print logos or sayings, caps or hats, torn jeans, visible underwear, noisy or dangling jewelry, flip-flops, provocative clothing, pocketful of keys or chains. If you have long hair, be sure it is out of the way so it won't cover your face. Flipping hair out of your face is very distracting, so it is wise to secure it with clips, gel, or some other method. Be sure you can be seen, especially your eyes and your mouth, even as you glance down to the podium. And number 2 is movement and gestures. Overall movement and specific gestures are integral to a speech. Body stance, gesture, and facial expression can be generally categorized as body language. Movement should be relaxed and natural. How you move takes practice. Actors usually have the advantage of directors helping to make decisions about movement. But a good objective listener or a rehearsal in front of a large mirror can yield productive observation. Moving around the performance space can be a very powerful component of a speech. However, it should be rehearsed as part of the presentation. Too much movement can be distracting. This is particularly true if the movement appears to be a result of nervousness. And number 3 is facial expression. Emotions were not casual invention, but graphic depiction of facial expression that convey various meanings of emotions. They are based on a nearly universal language of expression that we began learning soon after birth. We smile, we frown, we roll our eyes, and we wink. We open eyes wide with astonishment. We raise our eyebrow, occasionally one at a time, in suspicion, but in astonishment. Sometimes we pucker our lips either to offer a kiss or express disapproval, disappointment, or grave concern. Since facial expression is a valid form of communication, it is integral to delivering a speech. The face supports the neck, and the speaker's commitment to the material is validated. The press scrutinizes a politician for every twitch of insincerity. Detectives have created a science of facial communication for interviewing suspects. Like inflection, gestures, and movement, facial expression should be organic and spontaneous. If there is a hint of artificiality in your expression, you will sacrifice your credibility. And the last is eye contact. Eye contact is another very important element of speaking. An audience must feel interested in the speaker, and now the speaker cares about them. Whether addressing an audience of 1,000 or speaking across a juice table for two, eye contact solidifies the relationship between the speaker and audience. Good eye contact takes practice. The best practice is to be able to scan the audience, making each member believe that speaker is speaking to him or her. Eye contact is so important that modern teleprompters are designed to allow the speaker to look at the audience while actually reading the speech.